Pasta, pasta, pasta. Who doesn't love pasta? But how does this sound? Chocolate beet porcini, mushroom, and red pepper. Now you can learn how to make unusual homemade pasta noodles at home with this gorgeous cookbook, Making Artisan Pasta. And joining me is the author of it, food consultant and chef, Aliza Green. It's so good to have you here.
Wonderful.
This is my favorite thing, and especially I was telling you, my son Michael's a vegetarian, so anything I can sneak into the pasta to make it healthier and homemade.
This is a great way of doing it because, as you see, these different doughs are jam full of vegetables.
Oh, beautiful.
So, and except for the first one. We'll start with
the artisan pasta.
Well, we'll start with dessert first because, you know, life is short. So that's the chocolate pasta over there with some cocoa that I make. I put a little cinnamon in there. Then we have asparagus pasta made with a lot of fresh asparagus, which is in season right now. A beautiful beet pasta. That would be great for Valentine's Day. A little bit late on that one.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, really good for that. Then I have in the front the mushroom pasta made with dried porcini mushrooms, and that's my personal favorite. It has a wonderful smell.
Yum.
Then I have a red pepper pasta and a spinach pasta.
Oh, delicious.
And these are all the different sheets. That's what they look like when you make them.
So these right here are the artisan, these called artisan
Yeah,
pasta
artisan
sheets,
pasta
or?
just because you're making it by yourself.
Oh, okay.
So that's just a word.
We become artisans.
That's correct, right. And now we're both going to be artisans because I'm going to actually show you how to make pasta dough, which is so fast and so easy. Now, a lot of books will tell you to do it on a board. I like to do it in a glass bowl. I think it's just keeps things a lot neater. What I have in here is my flour.
Okay.
I like to use, there's many different kinds of flours work. You don't have to worry that much about it, but I like to use a combination of unbleached all-purpose flour and some semolina, which gives it a golden color and a little nutty flavor. And if you prefer an organic flour, I have this really beautiful. Yeah, that's a great flour to use. So here I have my flour. It's 3/4 pound of flour. I have 2 whole eggs and 1 egg yolk.
Okay.
And that's going to go into
lots of protein in there.
Lots of protein,
which is great.
absolutely. A little bit of water, maybe 2 tablespoons of water. Now it's going to change a little bit depending on what the weather is. You know, if it's a
what
the weather is. If it's a humid day, you're going to need less moisture because the flour actually absorbs moisture from the air.
Okay.
So yeah, but you know, there's no real way to ruin it. If it's too dry, you add a little more water. If it's too wet, you add a little more flour. And you know what? The first couple times, maybe you have a little trouble. Big deal. It's 2 eggs and a little flour. So, and it's so much fun to make with kids. I actually have done a lot of cooking classes with kids, maybe starting at about age 11.
Okay.
And then, so here we go. It's pretty well mixed together in the bowl.
And
now
you actually have an example of the finished product.
I have
over
some
there,
of the finished one.
It's amazing
but I'd
how it is simple. Simple
It comes together really quickly with your hands. Now this feels good. I might need a tiny bit more liquid, but not too much.
Do you want me to pour a little water
Yeah, if you
for
could pour me a little water, that would be great.
Drop?
Yeah, like
that much?
Okay. We're going to go a little more than that.
All right. So this is, so you kind of play with it. You use your own,
with it,
your own kind of flour, and you play around with the liquid.
I'm just going to get that there.
See, the kids could have a ball with this.
They
would be
would really
little messy.
A little bit. I mean, it's hard to be totally neat when you're making pasta dough, but you know that's why we have vacuums so we can clean it up.
And so you can just do this right on the counter.
Right on the counter. Actually,
do you put flour down first?
I sometimes will put flour down. This is not that. This dough is a little bit on the drier side, so it doesn't really need it. Knead it and knead it. I'm kneading it. So it's basically, it is very kneady, absolutely right. And then after you'd make it, which is really pretty much done like this, it's a little rough looking, but actually when you put it through the machine, it makes it smooth. It kind of develops it.
Okay.
So that is done.
And if somebody doesn't have the machine, there is a way to roll it out.
Yes, the old-fashioned way is with a big rolling pin and a wooden board. I'm actually going to be doing a demo of that in an upcoming event.
And we'll tell you what that event is a little bit later.
So here's my dough, and here just cranking it through.
Oh, this is so much fun.
It really is a lot of fun. And so you just move it around. What I love about machines like this, there's nothing to break, there's no motor. It's just, you could buy this thing, costs about $40 or $50. You're going to keep it for your whole life. And your kids are going to like it. If you have grandchildren, you know, it's another wonderful thing to do with them.
So what are you doing? You flattened it and now you're
I flatten it and I fold it.
Kind of like an
envelope.
envelope.
Like an envelope. I turn it around because I want it to be as wide as possible. So it's going to be all the way from one end to the other. Here it goes. And then each time, what you're doing here is you got these 2 rollers, and each time you move this crank, it pushes them closer together.
Okay.
So you're just going to roll it through, and then I'm going to do it again. Roll it through. Now, you might need a little bit of flour.
We've only got a minute left, so we'll just pretend that we did it. So,
That's
then what happens next?
Well, the next thing would be to put the parsley on there.
Okay.
And I put leaves of parsley on, and then I cover it with another sheet, and I roll it through, and then that becomes a laminated pasta.
Which
and
is
actually
amazing.
looks like this. So when you would boil that, you'll see the parsley leaves showing through. And so this is really going to be it, and then get another sheet on top, and it goes right through again.
Oh
and
my
then
goodness.
you're done.
And then we're done. And the
you're
finished
done.
product is right up here, actually.
So that's it. Eggs, flour, a little bit of water, and you're done. And I don't even put salt in it.
Oh my goodness. We're going to tell about your event coming up. We're going to be back. There it is. There's the finished product. You got it. We're going to be back in just a minute with all the rest of your event where people can see you. Be right back.
Perfect.
So this is wonderful. Live TV. We're making laminated parsley pasta.
We made it from start to finish, and we're done.
With Chef Eliza Green. This is amazing. I love this little machine.
It's so
Look at
cool.
this.
I
This
know.
is wonderful.
I made them really, really long. You maybe might want to make them a little bit
No, this
shorter.
would be fun with the kids to
It's
make them
so
long
much.
like this.
It's
Look at this,
really
it's
cool.
beautiful. And so this is the finished product. What I love about your pastas is that they're so healthy. Not only homemade, but you said like for the spinach pasta, for example, you use a whole huge bag of spinach.
One bag goes into one batch, so 6 ounce, a 6 ounce bag of spinach. By the time you cook it, you chop it up, you mix it with the eggs. There's no other liquid. I don't put any water in that, so the spinach kind of becomes the water. The same as
So I call it Popeye pizza.
Popeye pasta.
Yeah, right.
Well,
Say that
and
10
then
times
once
fast.
you have the vegetables, you know, the sauce kind of wants to have vegetables also. So I think it's a fun way to get kids and other people, but kids especially, to eat more veggies.
To eat the veggies.
Yeah, because as you said, who doesn't love pasta?
Yeah, it's packed with protein, and then I love your chocolate stuff too. It's amazing.
I do that, and I actually grate white chocolate over and pretend that's the cheese.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
oh, that's
beautiful.
amazing.
Yeah.
So I want to let a lot of people want to know your future event coming up. It's a Les Dames
Yes, it's a
Symposium.
Les Dames d'Escoffier Symposium I'm going to be doing.
Thank you for saying that.
I've been practicing. A demo on hand stretch pasta using just a rolling pin and a wooden board like maybe your great grandmother made.
Yes.
And it's a one-day celebration of women and food happening Saturday, May 4th.
There you go. It's at the Restaurant School, Walnut, right?
Yes,
Street?
42nd and Walnut.
Okay. And what does it benefit?
It benefits our scholarship fund. We actually raise money and we give scholarships to young people going to culinary schools and also a farm apprenticeship scholarship.
Oh, which is so wonderful.
And it's,
so you can learn something and you're doing something good for the community.
There's all kinds of tastings. There's Natalie Dupre is our keynote speaker, different panel discussions.
And
Great
I want to
thing.
thank you, Eliza Green, absolutely, Eliza Green, I should say. And we also want to thank the Keswick, Chris Mann, live in concert, Saturday, May 4th at the Keswick Theater. Chris Mann from, of course, NBC's The Voice.
Yeah.
Thank you, my dear.